The incoming Chief of the Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal Michael Wigston, was put in charge of this urgent review. And while he's full of praise for the professionalism of what he says is the overwhelming majority in the armed forces, he is still damning about the scale of problems. He says there is an unacceptable and persistent level of inappropriate behaviour in the UK's armed forces, and that, he says, is harming people, reputations, and almost certainly affecting recruitment. The services, he says, must do more to stop instances of inappropriate behaviour occurring. That, he says, is a responsibility for everyone, but ultimately, he says, it's about the determination of leaders to change the culture. Everything else, he says, hangs off that. But as well as doing more to prevent things like bullying and discrimination, this report warns the services they have to do better when instances of inappropriate behaviour have occurred or are alleged to have occurred. Because it found underreporting of problems and says a significant number of people have experienced bullying, discrimination and harassment, including sexual harassment, but have not felt able or been able to come forward to report it. The government has accepted all 36 recommendations, which include mandatory diversity, inclusion and values training and a new harassment survey to be carried out in 2021. There will also be an overhaul of the force's complaint system. There is already an independent ombudsman for service complaints, but there will now also be a new defence authority to investigate allegations and provide centralised oversight.
Bullying, harassment and discrimination, and particularly sexual harassment, has been a problem for all the armed forces for several years. The proposal of a new authority to specially deal with those, with specialist trained people that can deal with those, is a new way to approach this and hopefully to tackle it.
The Defence Secretary has welcomed the recommendations of this report, adding that she wants to ensure non-commissioned officers are able to address poor behaviour when they see it, describing them as the moral compass of the armed forces. James Hurst, Forces News.